a couple of guys who were started waiting around midnight to get in here. Those are the folks who are sitting in the very front row. So that's really what it takes. They've been up and they have been out for hours in this very, very cold weather to get the best seats in the house, too.
All right, Brianna, thanks so much. It was, of course, the inauguration of 1841, where President William Henry Harrison gave a long inaugural address amidst the cold, wet weather, and caught a cold himself and died of pneumonia days later.
Alright. All this fucking shit now.
Very, very challenging. Bitter cold temperatures here in Houston today. I have to tell you, we shake President-elect Trump's inauguration festivities. So we'll be there. They are will today. Down in history. We're having problems with that here. So let's take that back and again, I mean, it is a small thing. Biden is hosting President-elect Trump. President Trump did not do the same for him 4 years ago.
Are you serious? That's the throw? You're 70, dude. You're throwing like you're a 62 still.
So many
Come on.
happening this morning. On the one hand, you have President Biden said continuing to do things for Donald Trump that were not accorded to Biden from Trump. They met right after the election in the White House, but of course they're having these traditional meetings, whether it is the tea or the ride over to the White House. And that is Joe Biden's commitment to showing that democracy still works, that a real peaceful transition is still possible in the United States of America, and yet he began his last morning in office protectively pardoning people who he is worried that Donald Trump will go after in a way that is perhaps not in keeping with what a president of a democracy should or would do. And so those are the twin contradictory realities and dynamics that these men are facing as they face one another.
We're looking at on the right side of your screen, St. John's Church. Inside there is President-elect Trump standing there. If you look closely in the middle of your screen, back towards the stained glass, you'll see a face that looks a lot like Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. The genuflecting
Facebook
CEOs coming to Donald Trump hat in hand, wanting to make friends with the new administration has been something. Is that Joe Rogan to the right? It looks like Joe Rogan to the right. The bottom of the screen there, Eric Rubin, their Attorney General nominee.
Rough start, Kevin.
I don't expect to win these games.
I expect better defense.
Me too. But that play's broken and we know it.
All it is a fucking streak.
People around him honoring Americans' traditions, and today is one more example of that. He does.
Yeah, it's a streak in which my three safeties over top never follow. It's a broken play.
Or you just put the safety in man, then you're good to
No,
go.
I'm not.
I said, or you could just put a safety in man. There's a lot of times I have to sit there and alter plays based off how you lay it out. I know that you're gonna do a little fucking out route, your corner route, and then the drag, and so I'll fucking move certain players around, or I'll man up. Sometimes I'll have half my fucking zone playing man, and the other half playing zone, and I'll just sit there and run across the middle and guard the whole middle.
First couple. And
Are you serious, Barney? Fuck off.
President-elect Donald Trump.
Or if you have the safety roll over top, then you'd be good to go on that. I mean, the formation is broken. The play itself isn't just, you're not good at making adjustments.
they did not host the Vances at the vice presidential residence at the Naval Observatory. There are other Vances right now.
Ah, damn. J.D. Vance had himself a little Indian woman, huh?
I didn't know that.
And here we see the
All right. Good for you, my guy.
Vice President Kamala Harris and Secretary Gemhoff reading the Bidens. It has been a long, complicated history between these two families. And then, of course, after Biden dropped out of the presidential race on July 21st, Vice President Harris became...
It's another streak. Another touchdown.
Instead of her, they're now thinking about that way. History.
And what a moment it is. She was hoping that she would be up from the church service on the way to her inauguration. And instead she is the outgoing vice president.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, just to emphasize, I mean, this is what this country is supposed to do.
But to be fair,
what the?
Ran against someone who was a president.
it's pretty easy knowing what coverage you're in based off how you line up that 4x1. So if I know that you're in zone, I'm going to send two guys on the street, one guy in a corner route, one guy in a drag route. The other guy is going to run a deep end. If you're in man, I was going to have zig, drag, slant, and go route.
What the fuck, man?
There is a turnover, so that there's a serious transition from the American
I gotta get this shit the fuck out of my face.
indication of retribution on the right, of anger, and just the election is over. This is the moment that makes us
Go back to instead of
Why the fuck not?
Oh, no. I fucking hit wrong.
Show you at the end of the day, we all are. We are more than just rival political parties or systems of belief. We are together. This was something that was denied the American people 40 years ago. It is good to see it again today.
President Biden and the First Lady and the administration. And as much as this is a moment to behold, to celebrate as part of the tradition of America, it can't be forgotten what happened 40 years ago. Well on it, but we have to remember it because it is part of history.
I can't handle it again. I think that's one of the important parts of the reminder.
If you guy had any arm strength at all, that would have been a really good ball. That ball was in the air way too long. Needle dick of an arm. That's when throw power matters. But that's a really good throw. That's a good read. It's just no.
Yeah, no. I mean, the shit that sucks is his throw power is like 91, I believe, and it is what it is, dog.
Legally, lawfully, and with no credible evidence of anything on board, was elected overwhelmingly by the.
And say what you will about Joe Biden's policies, his decisions, lockdowns. This is a man who spent 50 years in public life. He, we're looking at pictures here of Mark Zuckerberg to Jeff Bezos sitting next to each other, it looks like, as an image inside of St. John's Church. As this church ceremony is ongoing there. It's not open to the press, but we're seeing a few images trickling in.
And this is what, in his final speech, Joe Biden referred to as the tech industrial.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying earlier about just these guys here, and
Because I don't know that I can. So we should just note. So Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO and founder of Facebook or Meta, Tim Cook, you only see the top of his head there. He's the head of Apple. Jeff Bezos on the right there, Walt to his side. He is the CEO of Amazon. Amazon, which we should know, has a documentary deal with $40 million with First Lady, the church, right in St. John's Church, with President-elect Trump. They are going to go back to the Blair House, we're told, and then out to the White House where the Trumps were free.
So I can't fucking
Dude,
delete
Donald
this
Trump look,
either?
dude, that motherfucker look, he's aging, man. He's gonna age hard too the next 2 years.
Presidency will do that to you too.
These gentlemen are in the church. And
Like, he's probably the only president that aged hard during his time, but man, I feel like his campaign took a shit ton out of him.
the development of artificial intelligence. And that man right there on the screen, the incoming president of the United
I would
States.
assume that JD will be taking over within 2.5 years.
This is going to be
Oh, fucker.
for the globe, for the economy. And Donald Trump understands that he has that power.
So I can't delete. Oh my fucking god, dude. Why can't I delete this shit? Patio, condo, bedroom.
It is important for the private sector to have support, but there is concern about people who have profit motives that are different from the needs of the Westerners.
And that is really the truth of the South base. Those tech leaders, those tech giants, among the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world. Being not just in that church, being at all of these events, hosting events, giving a lot of money for this, changing his in particular, the way that he and his platform, which is incredibly influential, are approaching things like freedom of speech, things like homecoming, in a way that is intended to please Donald Trump. And that's the entire reason that he's doing it. He's trying to keep up with the time, but it's also a lot about self-preservation and making sure that he is not the target. And a lot of these guys are not the target of Donald Trump as Trump is.
Let's go to outside St. John's.
Damn. Oh, shake and bake?
Some goes inside.
Yeah, so Jake, actually just feet from me is a suburban where incoming President Trump and incoming First Lady Melania Trump are sitting. They just left this service here at St. John's, and I was able to shout to Donald Trump and ask him how he was feeling today, and he said very good as he the door to allow his wife Melania Trump to go and speak. So he didn't answer other questions he did ask. For the pardons from President Biden today. Of course, as you know, he is going to the White House to have tea and coffee with President Biden and First Lady Joe Biden. So that should be interesting in the wake of those.
Fucking get rid of this shit then, man.
Lots of family members inside from the Trump family, Ivanka, Eric Trump,
That's
Donald
airs. The
Trump,
fuck is
and
that?
as well. Dana White inside. And as Caitlin reported, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, some of these tech executives who we have seen try to curry favor.
But it won't let me send it in
This is
for
certainly
review.
a different inauguration for Donald Trump than it was 8 years ago. I asked him about how
Fucking
he felt
getting me
different.
so
He didn't
goddamn
answer that
angry.
question, but he did say he is feeling very good today. Jake?
Yeah, if I could just, before I throw it to Anderson, just bring back that photograph of the tech pros inside St. John's Church. It's just one other thing I want to show. So we see Mark Zuckerberg on the left with the curly hair, CEO of Meta. Tim Cook, his face is black, he has the white hair, CEO of Apple. Jeff Bezos on the right there, the black gentleman looking to his right, CEO of Amazon. The gentleman behind Mark Zuckerberg is Sundar Pichai. He's the CEO of Google. And Anderson, between those four people, plus Elon Musk from Twitter or X, those five people that I just mentioned, four in the photograph and also Elon Musk, control so much of the information that we receive. So much is in their hands when it comes to ascertaining, monitoring, or refusing to monitor.
I think he's hiding here, Kay.
From deep fakes and all sorts of misinformation, and the degree to which those fucking gentlemen play a role or do not play a role will be pivotal in terms of where the American people are 4 years from now, in terms of understanding what is true and what is false.
You're also, you said we, not the United States, but the world, all of the humans on the planet, they control access to information. They're gatekeepers and gateways to information for the entire planet. Then you had some thoughts.
Picture what is restored revenge of the nerds. Don't forget all four of those. 4 years ago, were supporting the Democratic Party. An untold story here is how the Democrats, 4 years ago, having the White House, the Senate, the House, and Silicon Valley, now this is not the verdict of Donald Trump originally. The amazing political views of Donald Trump alone. The Biden administration pushed out the tech sector by having a view that all crypto is a scam and all big business is bad. And what happened is those folks went begging to Donald Trump. Not Donald Trump, to the Biden administration, to please for crypto. Just give us rules, regulation, clarity. We'll do a good job. The Biden administration never gave them clear rules, but instead would do a regulation by enforcement. It sued them, drove them nuts. Elon Musk was an anti-union Democrat. But when Joe Biden did his EV summit, he left Elon out. There were so many unforced errors on the part of the Biden administration, who I love, Joe Biden, who I love. But I'm a California Democrat. I'm an Innovation First Democrat. Those four are all our folks who got pushed out of our party because we didn't have an Innovation First approach from the Biden White House. We're now paying the price. It's not because we lost the White House, the House, the Senate. We lost Silicon Valley in the past 20 years. There's another element of Donald Trump has been very clear that he is willing to use the regulatory power, the power of the Justice Department, all levels of power to remove allies, friends, enemies, and that has brought a lot of the business community to heel. And one of the issues that Democrats have is that they believe in rules and laws and norms and institutions. But it's not. And that is an advantage in this kind of real politics. It's two things can be true at the same time. On the one hand, President Ncaa on the move from St. John's Church going to the house. On the one hand, even though we have no doubt regulation, that's been built into the thing, and benefit from that. But the other thing that's true is Democrats used to take, with Bill Clinton, took care of Silicon Valley. You'd expect Kamala Harris, being a Democrat, to take care of Silicon Valley. We didn't do it, so we're paying the price and what that means.
By the way, TikTok should represent the most powerful in among the players because we want all the types of the tech sector and the incoming president of the United States. And Democrats, as they're kind of flailing determining who their next leader is, but also who's their looking at. Is it just Trump? Biden kind of teased this by talking about the corporate oligarchy and the tech industrial complex, which he's identifying something smart, but it goes back to the Cohen Union talking about the corporate oligarchy or the tech industrial sector. It underscores what Democrats missed in this election so much, which is you're not talking like normal people. You're not talking the way that Donald Trump is able to actually, for whatever reason, communicate to people better.
We just saw the communicator right back at Blair House, particularly the White House.
Anderson, this is the very, very final last moments at the White House, of course, for President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden. As you look on the screen there, they posted what I think might be their last selfie here at the White House. Jill Biden posting this with just the caption, one final photo.
watching these images and thinking about just everything we have heard from our sources and our reporting in recent days, you cannot help but think about just the road not taken for President Biden. And that road, of course, is President Biden not running for a second term and Kamala Harris, or perhaps a different Democrat, getting the full runway to run a full, robust campaign. And obviously, as Democrats had hoped, Donald Trump not getting that second term back into office, and President Biden being celebrated in a different way for all of his accomplishments. And when you talk to even the president's allies, some of the former aides, and those who really fully supported him during his first term, there is a lot of anger for the promises that President Biden reneged on. That, of course, starts with the decision to run for a second term, even though he had initially promised he would be a transition and a bridge candidate, and then the decision recently to pardon his son, Hunter, after repeatedly having said that he wouldn't do so because he believes in the integrity of the judicial system. And then, of course, followed by what we saw this morning, these preemptive pardons of people that President Biden believed would be persecuted by the incoming president. That potential erosion of trust in the judicial system that could be sparked by President Biden's decision. President Biden has called himself his entire career as an institutionalist, somebody who strongly defends the judicial system. I think the irony of that potential is very hard for some of his very own supporters to accept, and clearly is a reality of how much, in big ways, his last final days and moments in office and in his presidency, how they have really been tarnished at the end, Anderson.
MJ, thanks very much. You're seeing the Vice President Harris is going to be Ncaa. They are going to be receiving Vice President-elect Ncaa in July. Some of Trump's the relationship. I said this is a fascinating moment. The relationship between President Biden and President Trump. It is just going to be fascinating to see those two.
That was strange. Again, there is no relationship. The vice president did not invite the vice president-elect to the observatory as traditional. So I think this would probably be his first meeting. For a photo. Sorry, I was going to say, and you know, if you remember J.D. Vance during the Tim Walton, the presidential debate, everyone was kind of expecting to see, this kind of pugilistic vice presidential nominee. And, J.D. Vance comes out and, butter cooking all in the guy's mouth. He was so kind and genteel and nice and a different kind of guy. And, I'm sure that's the vice president-elect who's walking in there, not someone who's holding a grudge, but someone who's not the guy who has.
Is it just me, or does that feel like 1,000 years ago?
This few weeks ago, so we've been through a lot of Bronco chases and slow car rides through Manhattan.
It's all how J.D. Vance is. I'm talking
A millennial VP?
Yeah, we act like it's normal for a 40-year-old.
But think of the arc of J.D. Vance's life.
Yeah,
It's an arc
city is inside.
I've been seeing him for 4 years, but I just thought that for a second. Let's think about J.D. Vance, a guy who was left his mom to had substance use issues, raised by his grandmother, married to graduate high school, didn't have a future, listed in the Marine Corps, remember that kind of a dead end.
Yeah, regardless of anyone's political perspective, again, we agree with our success.
Incredible arc. You can see his mom spoke the other night, and it's going to be an incredible story in America, but you celebrate them.
And there's two success stories. The other one is Kamala Harris. And I just want to give her due. that she also comes from a humble beginning, humble background. The first, what we call it, PA, trained senator, vice president. And when the baton was dropped, she picked it up. And a lot of people stood with her and believed in her. She was shown at least that the grace is there. She was the person that got to say officially, Donald Trump is now president of the United States.
GG.
J.D. Vance and how young he is. We have a one-term president here. Donald Trump can't once again. And so the question is, does Vance become the inheritor of a movement that is vibrant, that he can carry forward? He has more at stake in what happens in the next 4 years than Trump.
And it'll be a very interesting dynamic